Welcome back to the Pistol Report. Last time we left off with a quick refresher on the shotgun we covered. And we also did the 4-round shotgun course and the hits. Before we get started, let's do those 4 rules of gun safety. The gun is always loaded. Don't put your finger on the trigger till you're ready to shoot. Know your target and what's beyond it. And don't let the barrel point at anything you're not willing to destroy. Now that we have that, let's move right along. So, we introduced the side-by-side double barrel or coach gun in 12 gauge, and we're going to stick to the more modern Remington 870 Marine Magnum. They call it a Marine Magnum because of the stainless, and it's usually used for maritime service with law enforcement, military, or anybody who's in a damp or wet climate, because it will not rust and pit and doesn't have to be oiled as often. So now that we have a brief look at it, you know the trigger guard, trigger, barrel, magazine, fore-end, and stock. And so now we're going to go to loading the shotgun. Until you get very familiar, always make sure to double check the safety. The Remingtons have a bar safety that sits right behind the trigger. Always make sure, and there's an indicator on it, if the safety is off, you will see red. And always remember, if you see red, that means dead. So always check your safety. If the action's open, check the chamber to make sure your extractor didn't break and you have a live round in the chamber. Once you do that, you close the action, and I'm going to turn this way so you can see the ammunition holder I have on the side of this. We're going to use snap caps for the purpose of loading and unloading the shotgun. Once the action is closed, you can take a round, and most people will load it with the shotgun in the same attitude that you'd hold it ready to shoot. I tend to, for new people, flip it over, and then you can look right down onto the loading gate into the magazine, which makes it easier. And I brace it against my leg because of the length of the shotgun. It will get heavy just trying to hold it away from your body. So I put it against my leg and load. Once the magazine is loaded, you then must hit the release. On the Remington, the release is just in front of the trigger guard. You take a firm grip, and it is serrated so that you have grip and purchase. Push that down, down, and up. Now the shotgun is loaded. Now the stance for standing, and I always tell everyone, no matter what weapon you're using, no matter what kind of gun you have, always use cover if you have to engage a target. If you're out in the open, you're out in the open. But if you have an opportunity to use cover, always use cover. Make it a habit. So once it's loaded, and I know some people hold it what we call port arms. That means the barrel's on an upward position. I tend to hold it with the barrel down, pointing down range. And what I do is I take the stock and put it right under my forearm. So now that creates a center of gravity back here, and the weight of the shotgun is pushing up on the arm so that you take a lot of the weight off of your arms from just holding it like this, or a low ready with the shotgun. So what we're going to do now is, with a shotgun, a 12 gauge, it's one of the few firearms that can sweep somebody off their feet or knock them back a significant distance. But remember, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if it can sweep somebody off their feet, you need to be able to use proper stance to counterbalance. And that is strong side leg back, just like a boxer stance, and you bring the shotgun up, put it in the shoulder pocket, and you're going to lean forward, getting a good cheek weld against the stock. And you're going to look at the bead sight. Looks like a BB at the very front of the shotgun. What you want to do is put that BB right where the target you want to hit is. If you're using pellets, buckshot, then there's going to be a pattern as it goes out. Always aim center of mass, even if you're shooting pellets or buckshot. So once we get into ammunition construction, we'll teach you why the shotgun is one of the most versatile firearms in the world. So remember, you come up, put it in that good shoulder pocket, go to good cheek well, and lean forward. I'm exaggerating it because that recoil is going to start to push you back. Your legs will absorb a lot of the recoil. So until next time, if you have any questions, please go ahead and put it in the comments below. Thank you very much.